Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled pard. Part 2.
Jesus Christ. I'm legally blind.
All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to my next series of Mine Heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. And this is one of the top scriptures that I like to go to prove that there will be Israelites in the last days looking like the people of the other nations. And this video is an attack against all you guys out there pushing this black Hebrew Israelite agenda, as if every Hebrew Israelite or every Jew is going to look like a black person. Okay? And you, to show how stupid you dummies are, okay? You don't realize that just like how an Israelite could look like a so-called white person, a Edomite, which is predominantly a so-called white person, can look like a so-called black person, and vice versa. So you so-called black Hebrew Israelites, there's nothing spiritual about you. And if you accept somebody in your camp just because they have brown skin and woolly hair, you're no more than a fool, because you could be inviting a tear, which could be an Edomite that looked like a Jake, into your camp. Now, of course, we know that the Lord is not going to bring a heathen into this truth. We know that much. But for you to say that all black people are Hebrew Israelites, you're an idiot. Because you have Chinese people that look like us. You have Amalekites, small hats, that look like us. Okay? You have East Indians that look like us. You have Arabs that look like us. But they're not us, because their line does not go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian. Okay? In order to be an Israelite, your father's lineage on your father's side, according to Numbers 1 verse 18, must go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, which are the true biblical Israelites of the Holy Scriptures. Okay? And the reason why your nationality is determined by who your father is because the man carries the seed. Okay? And the word seed goes back to the Greek word sperma, which is where you get the word sperm from. And there's different types of sperm. You got the liquid type of sperm that come out of animals and that come out of people. And then you have the solid type of sperm, what the world calls seed, which you would usually plant into the ground in order to get a particular fruit or vegetable. So if you was gonna grow a pineapple tree, you would take a pineapple seed, which would in more simpler terms would be called a pineapple sperm, which is just a solid seed, right? You would take a pineapple seed, you will plant it into the earth, and when the time is ripe, the seed will begin to nourish and to sprout and to grow into a tree where eventually pineapples will begin to grow out of the tree as its fruit. So the seed determines what comes out of the earth, just like how a man's semen determines the nationality that comes out of a woman. A woman does not determine the nationality of a child. The man determines the nationality of the child. He is the one ejaculating inside of her. So if a Arabian man was to have sex with a Chinese woman, the baby that's coming out of that Chinese woman is going to be an Arabian. That's going to be the nationality of that baby. I don't care what that baby look like. That baby is still an Arabian, which will be a biblical Ishmaelite. If an East Indian was to have sex with a Japanese woman, guess what? The baby that's coming out of that Japanese woman is going to be an East Indian. That's going to be the nationality of that baby. Because the sperm that created that baby was that of an East Indian. If a Japanese man have sex with a so-called black woman, the baby that's coming out of that so-called black woman is going to be Japanese. I don't care if that baby have brown skin. The nationality of that baby is Japanese, because the semen that came from that man was that of a Japanese person. So the man carries the seed. That means if an Israelite man was to have sex with whatever woman, even a so-called white woman, the baby that's coming out of that woman is going to be that of an Israelite. So if your father's lineage on your father's side go back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, you are an Israelite regardless of what you look like. So guess what? There's going to be Israelites that's going to look like people of the other nations. And you know why that is? That's because it is all a part of the curses which the Lord put upon us as a punishment for us breaking his law, statutes, and commandments, okay? Breaking that first covenant, which led to us being scattered on the four corners of the earth. And wherever the Israelite man likes to dwell at, he likes to have sex. So guess what? You got Israelites that look like Chinese and Japanese people living amongst the Chinese and Japanese people. You got Israelites that look like Arabians living amongst the Arabians. You got Israelites that look like East Indians living amongst the East Indians. You got Israelites that look like Italians or Sicilians living amongst the Sicilians or the Italians. You got Israelites that look like small hats living amongst the small hats. You got Israelites that look like so-called white people living amongst so-called white people. You got Israelites that look like Africans living amongst the Africans. You got Israelites that look like Hawaiians, Samoans, Mauians, or Hawaiians living amongst those people. So Jeremiah 12 verse 9, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her, come assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Okay, and we always look this up. If we go into that word speckled, okay, the Hebrew word for speckled is, I believe that's tazabawai. It's tazabawai.
Strong's H, 6641. Savoué. Savoué.
Zavoué. Fuck out of here. And what do we see down here? Okay, we see colored, right? But it goes deeper than just colored, because even Negroes and Haitians and West Indians were being called colored in the early 1900s. So it goes deeper than just colored, okay? Okay, and what we see here is the word variegated. Okay, define variegated.
Variegated.
Variegated, right? Exhibiting different colors, especially as irregular. Now, in the Holy Scriptures, it tells you that leprosy is an irregular thing. Okay? Leprosy is an irregular thing. So you're going to have Israelites that are born a full-born leper. And being born a full-born leper is an irregular thing. Because before Esau was born, everybody on the planet had brown skin and woolly hair. So when Esau was first born, he came out red because he had no melanin in his skin, which is why his blood showed forth underneath his skin. Okay? His blood showed forth through his skin because he had no melanin. And melanin is what makes your skin brown, which protects your skin from skin diseases, okay, the sun, the harsh elements of the earth, etc. So when Esau was born as irregular, he was named Ishashua, which means wasted away as he. And the reason why, what was Esau wasted away of? His melanin. He was completely stripped of his melanin. Okay? Okay? So exhibiting different colors, especially as irregular patches or streaks. So that's what it means to be variegated. It also says marked by variety. So you know what that means by marked by variety? If your nation is unto you as a speckled bird, that means that not everybody of your nation is going to look like how you look. That means not everybody on this planet is going to look like LeBron James. Not everybody on this planet is going to look like Mike Tyson. Not everybody on this planet that is an Israelite is going to look like Michael Jordan. Not everybody that is an Israelite is going to look like Wesley Snipes. Not everybody that is an Israelite is going to look like Morpheus from The Matrix. Not everybody that is an Israelite is going to look like Kobe Bryant. Not everybody that is an Israelite is going to look like 50 Cent. You're going to have Israelites that look like Eminem. You're going to have Israelites that look like Bruce Lee, in which Eminem and Bruce Lee are both Israelites. You're going to have Israelites that look like Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly is an Israelite. You're going to have Israelites that look like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is an Israelite. Okay? And I just gave you a few examples. So that's what it means to be marked by variety. So there's going to be Israelites that look like people of the other nations where they were scattered. Point blank, period. Okay? And furthermore, what also helps to distinguish an Israelite from the other nation? Well, let's go to Matthew's the 5th chapter. Matthew's 5. What did Yahweh say concerning the Israelites? Okay. Matthew 5 verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thence good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men. And then if we go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, this is what the Lord said concerning our nation. Of course, we are the salt of the earth, but what makes us the salt of the earth? Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy God. Okay? Yahweh thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord called us a special people. Do you know what that means? Every single Israelite on this planet is unique in their own way. Okay? Not every Israelite knows how to dance. Not every Israelite knows how to play basketball. But you got your Israelites out there who know how to dance. You got your Israelites out there who know how to play basketball. You got your Israelites out there who know how to do both. Okay? Some Israelites are more multi-talented than others. Some Israelites are more skilled than others. But one thing about the Israelites is that the Israelites are more talented. The Israelites are more skillful. The Israelites are more creative. The Israelites are more innovative. The Israelites are far more unique than any other nation on the planet.